The US and China trade war talks are back in the news today. The market has reacted accordingly, which leaves you wondering, how do I trade in this mess? Yes, that's right, guys. The US-China trade war talks are back in the news. And why? Well, there's been some blacklisting on some China-related stocks, which has caused the stock market to come down. As of this recording, S&P 500 is down 32 points at 2906. Dow is down 250 points. NASDAQ down 88 points as well. It leaves you to believe, or leaves you to wonder, I should say, what do I do with this? As a day trader, how do I trade in this kind of market where it just seems like it's all over the place? And so I'm going to go over some of the stocks that I think that you might want to consider looking at on the downside and even on the upside in just a sec. But first, I want to welcome you to my channel. My name is Brad, and this is Own the Chaos. This channel is specifically dedicated to covering financial and business related topics. You know, the business world, the finance world is a crazy and chaotic world, and it's my job to help you own everything about it. So welcome to the channel. Hopefully I earn a subscription and a thumbs up from you as it pertains to this video. If you want to see more content such as this, please let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on today's video as well. Now, what's going on in the market today? Well, according to Yahoo Finance, Monday evening, the Trump administration added 8 Chinese companies and 20 Chinese public securities bureaus to the U.S. blacklist over concerns that organizations were allegedly involved in human rights abuses in China's Xinjiang region. 2 companies on the list included video surveillance companies Hikvision and Dual Technologies. The American chip makers took a big hit on the announcement, with shares of Ambarella, AMBA, tanking more than 10% Monday morning. Ambarella makes processors for cameras and surveillance equipment and conducts business with Hikvision. This is probably one of the bigger reasons why the market tanked as well today. China has indicated that it intends to hit back. When asked whether or not China intends to retaliate against the U.S. blacklist, he basically said that the U.S. should immediately correct its mistake and stop interfering with China internal affairs. The growing tensions come as high-level trade negotiators from the U.S. and China are scheduled to meet in Washington at the end of this week. As of now, the trade negotiations are still expected to take place as scheduled. Now, here's my opinion on it. You can agree with it, you cannot agree with it. I'm sure I'll get some comments about hating it or loving it after this video airs, but I will say that I think that the reasons that these blacklists occurred is a bunch of BS. The legitimate on the surface reasons. I think the real reason is that they're just trying to put pressure on China to finally cave when they start to negotiate and talk about this when they visit Washington. Hopefully something comes out of this thing, because the longer that this drags on, the more the market suffers and the more volatility and uncertainty occurs. But having said that, it does lend some opportunities to make some pretty decent trades and look for certain sectors that might be impacted or affected by these China trade war talks. Now, I think it goes without saying that the overall general market gets affected, but there's certain particular sectors and certain particular stocks that would have a little bit more volatility and lend more opportunities for profits, depending on how you're looking to trade. Now, the tech sector is significantly impacted by this, such as Nvidia, Apple, and the like, because a lot of these companies rely on China for their resources to make their products. So you can imagine how that might be impacted if these US-China trade war talks continue to go south. Now, having said that, I previously said on this channel, and those are going to be the type of stocks that you may want to take short positions on, as they will continue to decline the longer that this trade war and these trade talks continue to go south. Now, if we start to see some greater developments on these China and US trade war talks, then we'll see a lot of these tech companies start to move back up. But in the meantime, as long as this type of stuff continues to happen, you'll probably see those types of stocks continue to decline, which lends itself to some really good shorting opportunities. Now, if I'm saying these things, you're probably asking, did you trade Nvidia? And yes, I did. Made a nice profit today on Nvidia. Now, by that same token, there is opportunities for you to go long on certain particular stocks, ETFs in particular, as it relates to the gold and precious metal area. I've talked on this channel before, when there's times of uncertainty or unrest, it's usually a good idea to look towards metals when it comes to investing. Anytime that there's a war-related conflict or there's economic uncertainty, the value of gold steadily goes up. Now, to give you a good example of this, I just wanted to show you how gold is performing today, even though the rest of the stock market is down. Now, as you can see here with GLD, which is the ETF as it relates to the price of gold, you can see that it's up 0.7%. And over the last several weeks, it has been making a nice trend upwards. You could have gotten in pretty low here in the 120s and ridden this all the way up as high as 146. Would I continue to invest in gold? I think it's always a good idea to diversify your investments, and I think gold is always going to be a good investment. I would continue to monitor these US and trade war talks as it relates to the stock market, how that gets impacted. But yeah, I think that, you know, you could certainly start to scale yourself in with these gold prices being the way they are. I don't see any reason why they are going to decline at this point. Now, by the same token, if for whatever reason these trade talks go very well in Washington and there's some sort of peace as it relates to these tariffs and how we're getting treated by China and how China is treating us, something positive comes out of those talks, then you'll probably see the value of gold start to come down, the markets will go back up, and all will be right with the world. But I also think it's very important to be prepared and know which areas in the market that you need to look to whenever there is signs of economic downturn or uptrend. So looking for these specific areas are going to help you in your trading career. It's going to help you in even in your investing career. If you're just looking to invest in stuff, this is where you kind of want to shift your momentum during these unsettling times. Now, I hope that helps you understand which area in the markets to look towards when economic uncertainty takes place. Whenever these trade war talks take place and there's any kind of positive or negative outcome, you can bet that the market's going to react accordingly. We've seen it over and over and over again over the last several months. So it's always important to know where to go when it comes to your investments and in trading. Now, if you're curious about where I was pulling those charts up, it was at WeTradeHQ.com. It's a great platform for traders and investors alike to learn and grow and celebrate each other's success. There's all kinds of free tools and resources to help you become a better investor and better informed, better educated, all that good stuff. So go check it out. The links are down in the description below. It is my company that I've created with my partner Jake. It's a great platform to be a part of. So go check that out. Links are in the description. And that's going to do it for me, guys. If you like this video, I certainly would appreciate a thumbs up and a subscribe. And that's going to do it for me. So thank you so much for tuning in. As always, I will see you all before the bell. And B Smith is out. Hey, thanks for sticking around. If you want to see a previous video that I put out as it relates to the stock market, click the link down here below. If you want to see a video as it relates to my business, how I've built my business and found success, click the link up here. It's a lot of fun. It's called the Barcast. You're going to want to watch that video. It's very entertaining. And if you haven't subscribed, please click that circle right there. Please, I would really love it. Please, please, please. Thanks. And I'll see you in the next video.